Alright, I'm going to put the crank in today, but before I do that, I'm going to put the rings back on the piston here. A couple guys asked, if I marked these and put the rings back in the same spot and everything. I did mark them, and they all seem identical, and I wasn't going to worry too much about it, but I did make note of it, and I am going to put them back in the way they were. Let me look here. Okay, this is the one that was on top. You see, they actually are marked, and I don't know if that's just a mistake or that's how they were made, but you see how close them dots are together? That was the first ring, and this was the second ring, and you see they're a little further apart. I'm trying to macro in on this for you. You can't really tell unless you have them side by side, so you stick them side by side and you can actually see there is a difference. You see the one on the top, the dots are a lot closer, and then this one, the dots are a little farther apart. Like I say, I don't know if that means anything, and I've researched it and I couldn't find anything, so this is just the way I took them off, so that's the way they're going back on. And the bottom one actually has a double row of them. So I don't know what the deal is. If anybody knows, let me know. And like I say, I'm going to put them on the way I took them off. And I don't think there's a top and a bottom, so you can put them on that way or put them on that way. I mean, there is no keystone or groove or anything. So that's just the way I'm going to put them back on. Like I say, if anybody knows, any of you Maytag guys out there know what that means, let me know. Alright, let's put these back on. Alright, I started putting them on, and I thought, geez, why don't you put the camera on? Maybe somebody wants to see how you do that. Okay. Yeah, it's not too tough. I mean, you don't want to split these rings too much, you'll crack them right off. So you just run your finger right around easy like that, and we're all set. This one in the middle here spins a little better. This one here, not so much. I didn't lube them up yet, so I might run a file through there just for fun. We'll see. And then this bottom one, let's see how easy this bottom one goes on. Oh, look at that. Don't get any easier than that. Alright. See that one's nice and loose. This top one here, it does feel like right there, almost feels like it's catching. I might dress that up a little bit. There might be a nick, because it is the top ring. It might be a nick or something that might have caused that. So I'm going to take it off again and look it over. Alright. Alright. You see the way these rings here are nice and sloppy? They're not sloppy, but they're loose. That's the way they should be. And that top one wasn't. So you have to further review. This whole piston is pristine, except for this one area. Let it focus in. Relax. Okay, you see that? And that, I don't know if this was in a vise at one time, because you also have a little nick over here, and it's odd that they're both opposed. And like I say, maybe at one time it was in a vise or that someone dropped it or something, but assuming that's where our binding up is. So I'm gonna address that with a file, and we should be all right. Okay, we dress that up a little. Just use these little files here. I paid $1 for this about 40 years ago. When you go in the old auto parts store, you used to have a bin, $1 and stuff. You laugh at that stuff, but it works. So let's see if it works. Let's see if this did the trick. There you go, huh? That's what I'm talking about. That's what you want. You want them to look like that. When you put this in, you got to make sure that these edges aren't near the ports on a two-stroke. You want to turn them away, or else I get caught on there. That'll break your ring and it'll rip you apart. So, and don't forget, we got to oil this up before we put it in too. All right, let's put the crank in. Okay, I took some lacquer thinner and wiped out this bearing here, and it did have a little, not dirt, but you know, just residue on there. So now it's slick as snot, so that's good. It had some residue on it, I guess, from when I'm cleaning it. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, get the oil can. I'm going to stick, matter of fact, while you're watching, I'm going to put some oil on this bearing here. Then we're going to put some on the crankshaft itself. I'm going to good coat, look. Make sure it gets all around there. Okay. And I'm going to put some right here. This is where it goes in. Okay. Make sure you put it in the right way. Okay. Now, what goes on is this little hub here and this gasket here. So I'm going to put a little gas oil on this gasket, real thin, because it's only going to squeeze out anyway. But that'll hold it in place and give you an extra airtight fitting there. Alright, let me do that and we'll get back to you. Alright, I got the gasket on there, but remember I told you I cleaned that the bushing out over there? Well, I forgot that this has two bushings in it. It's actually not a whole bushing. It's about an inch long here, maybe an inch and a half here, and an inch and a half over here, so there's a space in the middle. But let me get some lacquer thinner on here and stick it on my finger, and we'll show you what's in there. The kind of stuff that you got to clean. Yeah, actually, it wouldn't have made much difference, you know. But you got grooves in there too. You want to get inside the grooves. But that's kind of stuff that was in there. So let me get this other side here. Look at that. Look at all that crap. The oil would have taken care of that, but we got the lacquer thinner here, so if you're going to do it right. See, even the clean side still got a little out. Okay, you know what? I might even do that again. Only because I can. Skip ahead, you don't have to watch this. Skip ahead. My finger's just getting to the end of that bearing. I feel the tip of it. Okay, that's better, much better. I almost put it on the gas oil there. Okay, now that's nice and smooth now. Alright, let's see if we can find some bolts here. There we go, this looks like a head bolt. Looks like in there, another head bolt. Another head bolt. Okay. Alright, so four of them will hold that on. And then one of these will hold the cap on the clutch, and then another one will hold something else. Alright, can you guys see? See these little titties? If I recall, I think the titties go up top there. If not, we'll know later on. Well, yeah, we'll know as soon as we try and bolt it up, because it only bolts up one way. There we go, look at that. Went on like it had eyes. If you recall, there weren't any lock washers on this, so we're not going to put lock washers on it. Alright, let me put the rest of these bolts in and then crank up on that baby. Look at that. Before I crank up on them, somebody's going to say you forgot to oil it. And they're right. Well, that's what happens when you're doing these videos. You know, you're paying attention to where the camera's at and all that stuff, and you forget critical critical parts of the build here. Like I said, that's where the kiddies come in. You know, it's good to have extra people here, but we don't have any extra people here. It's always better to have a second pair of eyes. Somebody would have said something, and it would have been 5 weeks late. They would have said, "Yeah, you forgot to oil it. You forgot to oil the shaft." Alright, let's try that again. Okay, everybody see that? We got oil on it? Look at that. It's so oily that the crankshaft just leveled itself out and went down the heavy part with to the bottom. Look at that. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm going to put the piston back in now, and I thought I was going to have to reuse the same cotter pin there, cotter key, whatever people call it. It's actually got to go into, doesn't want to focus. There it goes. It's got to go into that hole there. And I checked to see what I had in stock, and I did have the same one that came out of there. These little guys here would work, but I think if I go to the next size, it's a little longer, but I can cut that off, but it fits the hole a lot better. So I think I'm going to go with that. Alright. Where you guys at? Get the hole out, I move the bolt. There we go. Yeah, it fits the hole a lot better. Where you at? Over here, up here. There you go. So I'm going to use that longer one. Alright, throw it in there. Alright, I brought you down to my level. I'm going to leave the light off because sometimes when you turn the light on it makes it worse. You see that? I don't know if that's better or worse. A little more light. So I'm going to leave it off and see what that looks like. I already got oil on the crank, but a little more ain't going to hurt, right? Alright, take it apart. Also, you got to make sure these are lined up as indexing line. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I said it this video. I said last video. You know, a lot of guys are going to be excited because they seen, you know, it looked like it was rusted inside that inside this chamber, but it's not. That's red oxide or red lead, whatever they call that paint back then. So, all right. Let me make sure. Okay, that's the top. Alright, also you gotta make sure this this little swale goes up top too. Now I gotta recheck this because I turned it upside down. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. There we go. Alright, we're all set. Alright, we're gonna send it in. Coming in. Trying to get my head in the way. Okay, there you go. I could use a couple extra hands here. And this goes on like this. Let me throw a bolt on. I don't know if you noticed it, but I put tape over where the carb goes and the gas. Because you know, something's going to fall down there. If there's a hole, you know something's going to fall down there. Okay. I'm trying to get in the way, but it's tough. Okay, let me take up on this and then we'll turn yours back on. Okay. We got them tight and lined up. Now, there we go. That went in there pretty easy. I think the bottom one I can actually put in. Well, it's kind of spread now. I was going to say. I think I got it. Yeah, we got it. Alright. Let me spread them and cut them, and then we'll see how it looks, see how it turns. Alright, that came out pretty good. Alright, you see it turns nice and smooth and stuff, and there's, you know, you get a little play side to side, but when you put it in the cylinder, that'll be okay. But that's absolutely perfect on that this shaft. That was good. Good repair. Alright, leave your comments in the bottom. Enough of this. I guess what we'll do next, we'll put the carburetor on, and then maybe the clutch assembly and all that, the Kickstarter, stuff like that. And then we'll move over to the flywheel or the head, one or the other. So, alrighty, enough of this.